pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Already trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Nick pushed down the backstretch, is going to give him a good run through the corners.
So a little bit
foul from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the HOBO Racing Cup Series live on JTN from the Daytona International Speedway. As always, I'm your host, Joe Towanski. Alongside me tonight, you know him, you love him. It is Mr. Ricky Collette.
Hi there, Joe. Glad to be back here tonight for another week of racing with the Maverick Cup Series. I guess I already made my presence known because I was looking at the sound meter and picked up my mic, move it across the desk.
Not even, it's HOBO Racing Cup Series, Ricky.
What'd I say?
You said Maverick.
Joe, it's going to be a fun night here tonight.
We're here for the HOBO Racing Cup Series.
I got it on the brain. We do this. We do them so many times on Tuesdays. Yeah, we're here with HOBO, of course.
Yeah,
the Daytona International Speedway. This one should be a fun night. Big field here tonight. A lot of people. Should be a lot of action out here on track. Watching these guys drafting a lot. Been getting a little racy out there. I think we're in for a fun race here tonight. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a great race. Of course, folks, this is your Circle of the Diecast race preview. Remember to use code JTN at checkout for $5 off shipping on your order of $30 and more. 70 laps for us tonight around this 2.5-mile super speedway. They can go about 18 to 20 on a tank of fuel, maybe a little bit less than that 18 number 2, depending on where you're running in the pack. Always a big key, a big strategy to play for these drivers. It'll be interesting to watch as they're out there qualifying right now. We're going to step away for a second and let you hear about a new project we got working here on JTN.
Today we're doing Auto Sim.
Auto Sim.
We are trying out Auto Sim.
Yay, it's Auto Sim. And of course, AutoSim is going to be coming to your desktop computers or laptop, your PC, your personal computers here in winter of 2022. Going to be a fun time. It's been a great time working on that project with the original developer. That of course we helped with the initial game. But Ricky, qualifying has come to its conclusion. Perfect timing, if I do say so myself. Why don't you take us through tonight's starting lineup?
All right, Joe, with pleasure, and get ready, kick back, and grab a nice, tall, frosty drink, because this is going to be a long entry list here tonight for HOBO Cup Series racing. I got right this time, and starting on the pole, a time of 47.122 seconds on the pole is going to be that 73 Cadillac piloted by Herman Reese. Joining him on the front row in the second spot is going to be the 113 car piloted by Caleb Lingle. Jeff Stekenis of the 31 will be starting third tonight, and Steve Grant in the 11 car will be starting for the fourth position. Last car in the top 5, Randy Smith in the 10 car, rolling off of that fifth position. Right alongside him in that row will be Keith Clay in the 28 car, starting for the 6th spot. From 7th position is the 41 car, Josh Boyer. In 8th spot is the 029 car, piloted by old KJ himself, BSR Kilojoules.
Okay. Yep, you're all good. Keep going.
112 car, piloted this evening by Eddie Rayleigh, starting for the 9th spot, and rounding out the top 10 is Maverick in the 23 car. Wiley King in the 95 will start from the 11th spot. Steve Rubino in the 07 car starts 12th. Frank Baum in the 27 car will start from the 13th position. Dan Rubino in the 44 starts from 14th spot. In the 15th spot will be the 81 car, piloted tonight by Troy Donahue. From 16th spot is the 4 car of Matthew Stern. Ron Simpson in the 25 car will be starting from the 17th spot. From the 18th position, we have the 85 car of Ricky Bumbalo, and from 19th spot is the 22 car of Jason San Diego. Rounding out the top 20, 46 car of Bob Gibson, and starting in the 21st spot right alongside him will be the 9 car of Fugate. Starting from 22nd spot will be the 78 car of Ryan Johnson. 23rd spot goes to the 98 car of BP. Starting from 24th position will be the 14 car, piloted tonight by DJ Hinsky. And Duke Sorts in the 59 car will start from the 25th position. Starting 26 will be the 740 car, Michael Moore. And in the 27th spot will be the 21 car, Randy Wah. Mopar in the 43 car starts 28th tonight. And in the 29th spot is the 48 machine of Phil Lacasse. Last car to take a time in qualifying tonight, rest of the field picked on a random draw, will be the 710 car of Manny D. He will be starting from the 30th position. Starting 31st will be the 124 car of Rick Castle. Starting from 32nd will be the 94 car of Ken Hansen. And rounding out the field in 33rd spot will be the 19 machine, piloted by Rod Weston. And that's going to be the starting lineup for tonight's race here at Daytona. 33 cars, Joe, almost a full field here for HOBO tonight. It's going to be a pretty tight pack. There's going to be a lot of guys out there, a lot of jockeying for position. Track position is going to be king here this evening with how much these guys are going to have to do to get back and forth through the field.
Going to be a lot of interesting racing for the fans here on JTN tonight. That's why you don't want to touch that search bar. Stick right here to the JoeTowNetwork for HOBO Racing Cup Series action from Daytona. We're at happy hour, so as is our tradition here in happy hour, I want to say a big hello and thank you for tuning in to Keith Hughes, Mark Bancroft, Barbara, and Ann also tuning in, Tate Dorsey. Folks, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN here on a Tuesday night. Hopefully your week's been off to a good start, and we're going to keep rolling here live again with the HOBO Racing Cup Series. And remember, if you want to sign up to race here at HOBO, you can go to hoboracing.com. We also have it linked down in the video description below. Got good viewership already tonight, too. Already 18 folks tuning in.
Well, you know,
let's keep that number up there
for HOBO.
Let's keep that number up. Let's do it. Hit the like button too while you're
Daytona
at it.
too. I mean, we just got off Daytona week, so you know, there's never anything wrong with more Daytona.
Hey, 3 Daytona races in a row. I'm not going to go insane. Are you?
I'm not going to go insane. No, I mean, I didn't have to do them.
And Tate, there is no rain in the forecast. Thankfully, we're not racing the rain tonight.
Yeah, and everyone in Matt Mass in chat screwing with me, also saying Maverick Night in America. So now everyone's just doing it just to mess with me.
HOBO Racing Cup Series night in America.
He's bullying me too. Everyone's bullying me tonight.
Steve, Barbara tonight, or Ann, I'm sorry. Steve is going to be starting in the 12th position. Dan's going to be starting behind him in 14th. So those the 07 and 44 are going to be able to link up here at the start of the race. There's that 44. But we're here in happy hour. Still got a little bit, probably, what, a minute or so before we go green flag racing here from Daytona. So just stick tight with us. We're going to bring you all that racing action here in moments.
A lot of these guys out here right now, Joe, just trying to get the pit practice in. Now that qualifying is done, all the pit stalls assigned, everyone trying to make sure they can get down on pit road, find their pit stall, get off in a reasonable amount of time.
You see Ricky Bumbalo going there in the 85?
Ricky Bumbalo coming down. A lot of guys trying to do that at the moment.
A couple Team Speedland teammates there. Steve Grant, Bob Gibson. 11 and 46 was both going to come down, it looks like. And we've seen this be we saw this last week with Bomb Squad on Thursday night at this same version of Daytona. A lot of issues coming to pit lane. We saw it over at Fast. Pit road on the super speedways is a lot more difficult than I think people at home can ever really understand without actually racing. Just because there's so many factors that are outside of your own control, and then you also got to make sure you hit your marks. With drivers being called to their cars, we are mere seconds away from these engines getting fired of these 33 stock cars here from Daytona. Again, so happy you are joining us this evening. 33, that's a big number.
That's a very big number.
Ricky, you have one job. Don't mess up your words.
Ah, God, that's a hard one.
Mark's got ya.
I already messed up my words, technically.
When in doubt, throttle out. That's not good advice.
Amen.
No.
When in doubt, floor it.
Floor it?
Floor it.
As we hear the command, these drivers, these 33 stock cars get fired up and roll off of pit lane to get ready to go racing here tonight from Daytona. Of course, it's going to be Herman Reese who comes into tonight. Just 44 points out of the points lead here for the regular season behind Jason San Diego. San Diego finished second last week, really wanted the victory when we talked with him after the race. Jason going to be starting all the way back in position 19, so going to be some work to do for driver 22. Herman Reese on pole, then you got Caleb Lingle to the outside, last week's winner from Chicagoland in the 113. Jeff Stekenis and Steve Grant making up row number 2 with Randy Smith, and a big thank you to Keith McLean there in row number 3. Keith for bringing us out to the track tonight. Row number 4 going to be comprised of Josh Boyer and the Puppers. 41, pitter patter, let's get at her. With the 029 kilojoules to his outside in, again, row number 4. Rounding out your top 10, going to be Eddie Rayleigh in the 112 and Maverick in the 23. Your top 10 starters here tonight from Daytona. Ricky, we know we don't have to start up front to do well tonight, but it definitely will help for these guys that already are starting with good track position.
Yeah, it definitely will help just to be up front here and be able to kind of dictate where the pack is going. But, you know, you can't definitely make your way up through the back and into the front. And I'm sure we'll see plenty of people be doing that tonight.
Plenty of things happen here at the HOBO Racing League in the Cup Series when we go Super Speedway Racing. Hoping tonight's maybe not as wild and crazy as we've seen in the past, but nonetheless, we know it's going to be a good one. Dodge Charger safety car going to take the left-hand turn and go on down the pit lane, gives way to Herman Reese in the 73. He has control here for the start. Into that zone we go. Fans are on their feet. Green flag, and we're underway here from Daytona. Already a lot of jostling outside the line, not going, already very separated. Two distinct packs already forming as we head through turns 1 and 2.
Gonna take about a lap here for these guys to really get up to full song. But Herman Reese holding that lead right now for the moment. Clears Lingle in the 133 car, so he now has total control over this field. Like you said, 2 by 2 coming down the back straightaway. These guys are really going to be trying to figure out what that dominant line is, if there is one, pretty quickly here. First few laps, I think, are going to get pretty racy, and I think as we get close to pit stops, everyone's going to get a little bit into strategy mode. Try to reel it back just a little bit, just so that they can survive until they get onto the first cycle of green flag pit stops. But for the moment, Herman Reese leads lap 1 with Jeff Sekenis giving him a big push on the bottom there.
Yeah, Herman Reese out in front of the field, and it'll be interesting to see if he can get out front, if he starts blocking, starts using both lanes. But for right now, Caleb Lingle fighting back on the outside in the 113. Good push there from the 11 to Steve Grant. You got the top 4 cars. They're in line in pairs of 2, and then neither line really with a lot of help behind, although here comes the help on the outside.
Yeah, that high line's got a lot of numbers up there, a lot of momentum at the moment. You see Lingle clearing the 73 of Herman Reese. Steve Grant tries to go for it, can't do it in the turns here. We'll see if he can do it down the straightaway. I'm noticing that lower line is not as formed up as the high line is at the moment. And you see Herman Reese starting to drop back just a little bit. It looks like they're going to need a little bit extra help down there. Honestly, probably just need to get formed up because the guys up top are all close pretty tightly together. Down low, it's kind of like a loose string on the way back through the field.
See Rubino further on back on the 07. He dropped out of the outside line to get to the bottom. That's a number they lost on the outside, but starting to gain cars once again as the packs start to come back together. That accordion effect that we see here on these super speedways sometimes already coming into play. Top 4 now going to be clear of the inside line. That's Herman Reese. I call it top 3 as the 73 fights back on the inside of Kilojoules in the 029.
Other interesting little angle, Joe. We didn't really talk about this, that it is open setup here tonight. So these guys do have a little bit of control over their destiny here by way of what they can do to make that car fast. I don't think that's why we're seeing the field split up into 2 like we are. As you see that inside line starting to form up here. KJ and Keith McLean both going to the inside. I think some of the guys, you see a huge string of cars and a whole second pack formed up right now that I think these guys are kind of tiptoeing a little bit. I think would be the easiest word for it. I think they're just kind of waiting for something to happen up here.
You see Keith McLean and Kilojoules, they obviously always work so well together. Coordinated move to get there to the bottom, puts the 28 out in front of the field off of turn number 4 here. Coming to the completion of lap number 4 as Lingle fights back on the outside, but give lap 4 to the 28. You got this first pack, and then you got a group of stragglers. You got one blowing up. It's Ricky Bumblelow in the 85. Down here on the apron, that's going to be a night ender for driver 85. The Rockstar juiced Dodge Charger. Well, it dropped, lost all its juice. Oil all over the apron of the track. We stay green.
Yeah, Joe, looks like the 85 of Bumblelow, something happened to him. Off turn 2 on lap 3. Looks like he blinked out for a second, and then he just went down the inside wall full speed and hit it and blew out that motor. So that car riding around hurt right now. I don't think they were repairing it. So we'll see if that throws a caution as that's a blown motor on track. But for the moment, he's still driving around. It's under power. So we stay green for the moment. Keith McLean has the advantage on the 113 Lingle and has the lead for the moment.
Oh, 28 hit the apron there, did the Eric Jones off of turn number 2. That could have been a disaster.
And like I said, open setup here. So these guys can kind of take their own shots at how unwieldy or stable they want these cars to be to make them fast. There's no real set rule about it right now, so we're going to see some difference in handling here. Keith asking in chat, yeah, it is open setup. So you see some haves and some have-nots here by way of how cars are driving around this place. I have another car in the dirt on the back straightaway. DJ Hinsky just came to pit road.
That 14 car parked on the pit lane. Ricky, you gonna gather that story?
Yeah, it looks like something happened to him here, Joe.
Oh, really?
Looks like he hit the apron, kind of like the 28 did on the back straightaway coming off a 2, and then just lost it. Actually went all the way around the track. Everyone had to avoid him, but he got hardened to the outside wall and then just got stuck in the grass.
See if we can't fetch you that replay. It happens with the
We got a car around out of the field here. 25 of Ron Simpson going through the grass, and he just kind of side slaps the wall a little bit. Not actually too bad though. No caution though, but Simpson's flat spotted that left front tire.
So a couple early little single car incidents here. No caution being thrown, cars out of the way. Let's see what happens here at the 25 first. Our most recent one of those little spins.
Looks like the 25 of Simpson does the same thing. He grabs the apron a little bit and the car over rotates and he can't control it.
Oh.
And that's what I mean about making these cars a little unwieldy tonight. If this was on a fixed setup, they'd probably be running something a lot tighter that wouldn't really throw as much of a stink if you touch the apron. But I'm sure these guys out there have these things as loose as they want to get them to get that speed around this place in the turns to keep from scrubbing off speed in the turns. And the payoff to that, not the payoff, the detriment to that, I guess, is that you get really loose if you touch that apron.
Here's what happened to the 14. Loose conditions really... Oh, my goodness. That's a replay from earlier. I have no idea how that was not a caution. Because that was a car right up into the middle of traffic. Oh, my goodness.
10 laps into the race right now here, Joe. Mac Daddy in the 28 Zebra Ford Mustang here. I guess the Ford, it's not a Mustang if it's a Zebra, but we'll let Keith dream on this. But he's leading right now. I've noticed that the 029 of KJ there is kind of falling in with him. Herman Reese is right there with him, but they're not really putting up a huge fight. KJ's now starting to look at that outside line, but you see that he's not really trying to get around this 28 car. 10 laps into this run, you got to wonder, now that we've seen that with a few cars getting really, few cars actually spinning out. Obviously, that was off the apron, but you got to think tire wear is starting to factor in on these cars a little bit.
Well, another guy to take note of, Matthew Stern there, leading the outside line, currently sits 18th in the points outside of the playoff picture. But if you're within the top 20 in points and you have a win, like a Steve Rubino who sits in 20th coming into tonight's race, you get put into the playoffs here at the Hobo Racing League. So Matt Stern needs a victory tonight to make his way into the playoffs, and right now putting himself in a position to be able to do so. And leading the outside line in that 4 car. And we don't have nice fancy graphics made up for the playoffs, but just know that there's a couple drivers that can still make it in with a win. And if they do so, we will let you know. But it's top 12 in points, and then 4 wild cards, I believe, was the description we got. Which I actually like.
Front here, Matthew Stern just caught the 28 car. Rode down the front straightaway there a moment ago. Looks like they're getting a good run down the back straightaway too. So we'll see if he can get side by side with them again. But looks like Keith is starting to get a challenge for this lead. Everyone's starting to get a little dicey up here. Caleb Wingle looks to the outside. Matthew Stern. They're going to be coming up on a lap car here in a second at 94. Ken Hansen doing about 180 compared to these guys doing about 195. So gotta get a little scary here, but they're coming up on him pretty quick. He's going to hold the outside line, it looks like, as these guys come motoring on by. Keep an ear to this because it's going to get a little dicey with all of these cars trying to get around this lapper, especially at a place like Daytona where it's a little thin. Well, 3 wide's a little scary.
And going around that 94, he's keeping it up near the wall, but it's terrifying to be that car that's slower too, right? Because everyone's just going by you so fast. Oh, Bino. We almost had bad things happening.
Oh, we got a car
Oh, we
around
got bad things
85
happening.
Dino. Oh, our Bumble goes upside down, takes contact from the 98, flipping through the inside grass. That's going to be our first caution of the night, Joe.
What happened here?
It was a similar situation. Bumble was doing about 165 when the field came up on him, but the speed difference there, everyone tried to get by him, but him and the 95 of Wiley King got together and it sent the 85 around.
Ugh. Randy Waugh gets a big hit there, keeps on going, but yeah, BP in the 98, really the biggest loser there.
Yeah, BP was just a innocent bystander and all that. I don't see any hood damage on that 98 Toyota, so he might be
okay.
Might be okay, yeah.
You big Mountain Dew pitch black guy?
I have never had it.
All right, let's go on board with the 98. You'll see the incident up ahead. Ugh. So we work our first caution of the night. Troubles navigating around the slow car of Ricky Bumbleau. Bring out, again, yellow number 1 here on lap 14 when the caution came out. You good there?
Yeah, it's had a cough.
Hmm.
I coughed into a tissue.
Wonderful.
Everyone going to be coming down pit road here. 15 laps completed here at Daytona. Someone's going to have to come down and get 4 tires of fuel. Joe, do we know how long a fuel run is here?
Yeah, about 18 to 20 laps.
So right on top.
But they'll probably only go 17, knowing what they like to do to me. Make me look bad.
See if anyone takes
There's not really any strategy calls that you can make.
Especially Herman Reese having that preferred pit stall. He does not, but it looks like Reese does get a pretty good. It looks like he keeps that 4th position. Nothing crazy, but Keith McClade staying our leader here, coming off pit road.
Another thing to note too: kilojoules in the 029 fell back a little bit, and so did Silver Bolt, or so did Matt start in the 4. See, I did the thing too.
Okay, there's a lot of cars.
There's a lot of cars. There's a lot of guys running the same numbers in different places, being called different things.
There's a lot of cars.
I love it. It makes our job interesting, doesn't it?
It definitely does. It definitely does. Makes it fun. We gotta be on our toes.
Well, we're on for this first caution of the night. We'd like to remind you that we got some more great racing coming up here on JTN, presented by our friends, of course, at TWB Technologies, because together we're better. Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action heads to Darlington this Thursday night, September the 1st, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Then there's the HOBO Racing Cup Series from Darlington next Tuesday, September the 6th at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series, once again from Kansas, Thursday, September 8th, 9:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more live right here only on JTN.
Joe, well, we got a minute here. We're just waiting for this L to come back green. Looks like Ron Simpson's going to have the lead. Not the lead, the wave around. Simpson 2 laps down after that spin. Did come to pit road, get tires, but obviously 2 laps down right now. We'll see. Lights still on the pace car, so we got some time.
Oh, we got contact on pit road.
And we got a spin on pit road. 78 and the 740 get together. But they're all good. Well, what I was going to say is looking through the field, seeing a lot of these paints. I think the 48 of Phil Lacasse is screwing with you a little bit.
That's a Jimmy Johnson paint right there.
Are you guys just talking about this car the other night?
We were, because Davey got a Jimmy Johnson T-shirt.
I think Phil's having a goof with you. He's got the Jimmy Johnson numbers. Not Jimmy Johnson numbers, but the Jimmy Johnson number.
Yeah. Let's not worry about chat. Ugh.
Listen, San Diego's got the lead right now, and imagine he's just staying out to get that lap lead. Like I said, on the cutoff race, probably good to maximize those points if you can. Down on the apron here, so I think old Jason is going to come down. I wonder if there's a strategy play by the 22 at all, maybe to get
lead a lap
just now.
No,
just
lead
to
a
get
lap.
A little extra out of that tank.
Lead a lap. Remember we talked about needing the points? Herman Reese, him battling.
Yeah. Well, I mean that, but also staying out like this is going to give him. He's on 18 laps out there right now, so he'll have a little bit further to go than some of these guys that pitted a few laps earlier. You never know. You never know. If this went green all the way to the end, that would give him a little bit of an advantage on how these pit stops all went. You know, say if he's running at a better fuel mileage than these guys, the rest of the guys around him, and then after on the last round of pit stops, maybe he has to take less fuel.
Everybody likes less fuel, right?
Everyone likes less fuel. It's always good to be fuel efficient. But one to go here at Daytona. Keith McLean going to be leading them back. Caleb Lingle in second. Third spot is Herman Reese in the 73 car. Fourth spot is Steve Grant in the 11 machine. The fifth position is going to go to Eddie Rayleigh in the 112. Sixth is Jeff Stakanis in the 31. Seventh goes to Wiley King in the 95. Eighth is to the 07 car, Steve Rubino. Ninth is to the 029 car, old KJ, and rounding out the top 10 here, 23 car Maverick. I keep seeing Maverick in 10th. I don't know why he keeps showing up in 10th specifically, but starting to make his way into the party here.
Thanks for tuning in, Mark. Oh, man. You saw that, I don't know how many folks in chat saw it, but the big old parlay that somebody hit on with top 10 finishes for Daytona. We talked about it on Sunday. And I talked about how that was the first time that certain, that specific site had allowed for that. Well, just went to see if they allowed it for it again this weekend. They are not. I know you asked me a question about the race, Ricky, and I completely fumbled that bag, but I'm excited for this restart to see what this 28 car can do. You know, had the help from the 029 to get him to the lead. Now does not have that help behind. You know, the 113 going to be aggressive trying to get the lead here. Caleb Lingle always in the hunt no matter where we are. Herman Reese back there in third is battling for the regular season points championship. Knows he has a good opportunity here tonight with Jason San Diego lacking track position. It's just there's crazy stories up here at the front of the field as the Dodge Charger safety car comes down the pit lane, gives way to Keith McLean. 28 Little Debbie Zebra Cakes forward with control here for the restart. Back away we go. Green flag once again here from Daytona.
Lingo gives Keith the big old push here. He wants to get those two out kind of ahead of Herman Reese here so that they can start dictating where everyone's going to go. I think Lingo, if he wants to pass Keith, he wants to be able to do it all by himself there for a second. But Keith McLean hanging on to this lead. You see the rest of the field starting to accordion back up to them. Single file down the back straightaway here, though. Don't see any takers on that low line just yet. Got a big grouping of cars back here from about 15th on back that are run two abreast at the moment, but not really in touch with the leaders at the moment. This front pack seems to be all single file for the moment, Joe.
Single file here at the front of the field, and that's kind of what we talk about a lot of times here at Hobo with the single file restarts. They really cause these races at the super speedways to get a little more strung out. I mean, look at this. Again, two distinct packs forming a second pack that's a little bit bigger than the first, But you can see where that kind of splinters off there in the middle. The inside goes Steve Rubino in the 07 with help from Jeff Stakenis. See if anyone tries to jump down in front of the 07, if those two can work together to make their way towards the front of the field. Maxwell House Ford there leading the way on the bottom. The nice bright blue. A bright dark blue on that 07 car.
Bright dark blue. Is that... Can something be bright and dark at the same time?
It's a bright dark blue.
Dark bright blue. A dark
that doesn't
light
work.
blue.
Nevertheless, that's a good looking race car.
But just the cat is kind of down there all by himself at the moment. Here comes the 07 again with Rubino, and then right behind him, here comes the 029 old KJ here, giving the 31 a big old push. 31's going to bail out, though, jump up to that high line, leaving KJ out to drive with the 07 car.
You got to know when to hold 'em.
Know when to hold 'em.
That's not how the words go.
Know when to hold the way. Know when to hold.
So
we get a really big pack here. Sorry. There's a really big grouping here behind from Matthew Stern, the 11th spot, is the end of this front pack. And then Randy Waz leading a whole second pack here, Joe. And it's like a tale of two cities. The second pack's like double wide all the way through and all really dicey, like they're racing for the lead here. Meanwhile, our leaders are just having a nice Sunday drive.
And that's what's helping them stay out in front of these guys, right? There's more cars back here. Usually more cars means you're a little bit quicker. Which I don't know if you have the lap times handy-dandy right now, but as they're now getting single file, I think they might have got the message relayed as Stakenis looks to the inside of Rubino and Rayleigh.
Well, I've definitely done this before in plate tracks. Usually when you're at this point where there's two groups, everyone is like yelling at each other, like, get in line, get in line, get in line, don't race. Like, everyone kind of realizes how much ground you got to make up on the leaders, and then it's like, okay, if we can get to a single file train, we got more numbers on them, we'll definitely go faster. We just got to find a way to get ourselves our proverbial ducks in a row here. The problem is, too, though, I will say that tonight, again, open setup, so anyone leading any given pack, there's no guarantee necessarily that they're going to be good leading a pack. The car might not be set up right for that kind of speed without the draft on the nose of the car. They might be set up more for pushing, and that might also hurt some of these packs too, depending on who is dictating them. I see Randy Waz trying to lead these guys around here right now. It seems like it's working out pretty decently, but, you know, I definitely saw some guys earlier that seemed like couldn't really stay in the pack the way that they were going to be needing to. I saw some guys that were kind of up front that couldn't really hang up front. Some guys in the back that could come to the front because we had fast cars. It's a balancing act. You see it in actual plate racing all the time that sometimes the car just doesn't seem like it's a great car to be pushing, so when it starts leading a line, it just kills all of the momentum. For the moment, though, this first pack is starting to kind of double up. You see the 112 on the bottom getting a push from the 07 machine. Eddie Rayleigh trying to make this bottom line work. He's got 4 cars down there with him. His high line's a little splintered up at the moment, so I think that might actually fare well for this low line. These guys kind of seeming to keep some kind of gapping on each other for some reason, but KJ got to take this advantage to jump to the inside here. On the inside of Herman Reese, taking that battle for the 3rd position. That's going to help Rayleigh close up on the bottom line here, and that should probably help this low line form up and start making a challenge for that lead.
Well, and as that low line forms up and we get side-by-side racing here at the front, Ricky, that's going to allow that second pack to kind of close their way back in. So you're working through almost a prisoner's dilemma type of situation where you know getting in line and working together is what's going to kind of help you in this race. It could be what wins you this race. But you just don't trust those other drivers to do the same, and I think that's what we're seeing right now with these guys jumping to the bottom, is now that bottom line once again fizzling out. Rayleigh looked to make a move to the bottom, wasn't able to do so. KJ looking to make a move to the top, can't do so, as now Rayleigh lets him in line, the 112's into the outside wall, and he's around.
Eddie Rayleigh around into the wall, second pack coming up quick. They got to be careful, They are coming with a huge head steam.
They're crashing.
Oh, the 710 is made into the outside wall, 41 car around. On the back straightaway. Oh, a lot of cars did make contact. Oh, with the 112, the 19 of Weston, the 10 of Randy Smith back here.
The second caution of the night after the 112 goes into the outside wall in the first pack.
I know, where do we want to start here, Joe?
I think we start with the 112. It looked like internet issues for Rayleigh and that U.S. Army Chevrolet.
Yeah, it looks like it gets some internet issues, gets stuck in that outside wall, and just goes for a spin.
Let's see if we can't find him.
The interesting thing here is that no one actually got into him full speed. These guys, the 19, the 10, actually wrecked before they got to him. So the 112, not a lot of damage on that car.
Well, and they're probably wrecking because they see what's up ahead, right? That's what I would venture to think.
Yeah, they just kind of all came sliding in. Looks like everyone's checking up this secondary wreck here.
Yeah.
The secondary wreck here, looks like everyone checks out the 124. Rick Castle checks out the 10 car of Randy Smith, gets into the back of him, and it just collects all three. Him, the 124, and the 19 all go spinning in the back here and kind of just bump the 112. They don't really give him a whole ton. Second incident here, Joe. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but it seems like really...
I think Josh Blair just kind of was on the apron.
Yeah, it looks like the 81 car of Donahue checks up a little bit, and I think that's what caused Manny D to snap into the outside wall, but they both keep rolling. The 41 spun, and then right behind him, I think somebody else spun. Oh, Ryan Johnson, the 78, almost spun, because he also got on the apron. I think a few guys just got in the apron, tried to avoid the car up in the wall there, and almost over-rotated the car and spun it. Pit road a bit busy here. Lap 28 of 70 of tonight's event. I think Herman Reese actually won the fight off pit road. Waiting around for the one to go on the pace car lights. CBP up front. Herman Reese. BP, I think, getting that lap around. Try to see what position 98 is in. Actually, I don't know if he's on the lead lap. I don't think he is.
Welcome in RJ and In the Zone. I think I got to mention that.
Who actually comes across the line here? Looks like, yeah, yep. Now he's our BP leading a lap here, so I think he's just out here to lead that lap. But when we go back, Herman Reese going to be the leading. Keith McLean lost a few spots on pit road. Looks like he lost 2 spots to the 113 Caleb Lingle and the 11 Steve Grant. Actually 3 spots because you count Herman Reese on that too.
There's a lot of people, you saw the whole Jeremy Clements penalty, right?
Yeah, I did.
A lot of people being like, wait a minute, why doesn't the guy that finished second get to actually take home the victory if Clements got DQ'd? He didn't get DQ'd. He got a points penalty. He was also told that his win will not count for the playoffs. The reason he did not get DQ'd is because The infraction was not found at the racetrack. That's your little NASCAR news update for the broadcast tonight.
Sorry, that's my thing.
Oh, Ricky, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. The 25 going down, so Herman Reese going to be leading us back to green. Caleb Linkle there in second. Steve Grant, Keith McLean, and Wiley King, your top five. Ricky, we haven't been doing good with the back and forth talk under this caution, huh?
Joe, I believe that my fingers are inside of my fingers.
Oh, okay. Do you need to go get that looked at in the infield care center?
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, Mikhail Gorbachev died today.
Are you just doing breaking news of all news?
I didn't see that.
Breaking news. Joe reads the news.
That's crazy.
Late breaking news.
Did he tear down the wall in turn 3 here, like we asked him to? You're trying not to laugh, I know it. Pretty good. Getting ready to go back green. Herman Reese with control here for the restart. Here we go, green flag, we're back underway.
Herman Reese holding the lead here on the U13 cars. They come down into turn number 1, just trying to get up to speed.
Steve Grant to the inside, Caleb Linkle. That's the battle for second. Has help from teammate Wiley King there as well. Those two Pontiacs getting hooked up on the bottom somewhere. Tommy Bordeaux is smiling from the JTN compound. And is the 11 going to go to the lead off of turn number 4?
11 going to the inside off turn number 4. Side by side coming across the line. Too close to call, but it looks like the official saying Steve Grant led that last lap.
11 car trying to get out in front. Don't think he'll abandon his teammate, although going to that outside line is Steve Grant in the 11, now almost getting put into a sucker hole down the back straightaway. They're still side by side as we head into turn number 3. Lingle, big push to the 73 down to 3.
Everyone getting slicey and dicey up here with the 73. Herman Reese hanging on to the lead. He's getting a big push coming across the line. Herman Reese going to lead that lap.
So now Herman Reese back to the point, has been up front for most of this race. Of course, that's what happens when you qualify on the pole at a super speedway. Caleb Lingle, though, big pushes to the back of the 73, trying to get clear of this inside line. 73, 113, 28, 079. Your top 5 on the outside, top 5 on the bottom. 11, 95, 31, 029, and 4. As now the top 3 are clear of the inside line. Oh, Steve Rubino almost into the wall. He
did a
saves
good job
it.
keeping it off the wall there. That was getting dicey and close, but he hung on to it.
Talk about a pucker factor there going down into turn number 3. Rubino still side by side with Steve Grant. Didn't even lose any ground. Now the 07 jumps to the bottom, gets to the inside of the 28, going to try to lead this inside line towards the front. Going to have a little bit of time before the 9 gets to the back of the 28 as well to pounce on this opportunity. And here I go, Ricky, using my announcer voice now as we get into the second half of this race. Rubino there on the bottom, working to the inside of Keith McLean. That 28, another very strong race car here tonight. A little bit of wiggling there off of corner number 4 for a lot of the field. Still side by side for third as the 07 continues to try to work his way towards the front of the field. We'll see if the 113 decides to drop down 21 into the outside wall. That Alabama Crimson Tide colored Dodge there on the outside line. That's Randy Waugh. Gets it back down now. a little further away from the outside wall as we head through 1 and 2 now down the back straightaway.
Herman Reese hanging on to this lead. You see 2 lines of cars all coming with a huge head of steam, but they're hanging on up here. The 73 of Herman Reese with that push from Caleb Lingo. You see the 07 though, Steve Rubino trying to make that low line work to the inside of the 28 car. Starting to get to Caleb Lingle a little bit, but he needs a little more help, it looks like. That low line's got to form up just a hair more, and Steve Rubino will start rolling here.
And you really see the gap starting to form there between the 07 and the 11, and even more between the 11 and 95. No push is really coming right now to the inside line, and that's why they're losing so much time. 28, Keith McLean now clear. Jeff Fugate going to be looking to be clear there, and the number 9, Sundrop Dodge as well.
The 7 gets a little bit wiggly, a little bit squiggly there coming off of turn 2. 28 car Keith McLean, though, has that lead on the low line. Jump to add a line to try to make a charge at Caleb Lingle here. Gets this position to the inside. Here comes the 9 of Fugate with them. They jump in line. All of a sudden, that high line is evaporated, and these guys down low are coming.
Here we go. Battle for the lead. Keith McLean looking for it to the inside of Herman Reese. Jeff Fugate, big push to the 28. It's going to move him out to the point here. Heading down into corner number 1. We're over halfway through this one. Oh no!
Ooh, that's a big wreck here coming into turn number 2. Huge wad of cars. Everyone piling in on this. Oh, that's a big wreck. Look at all the cars flipping, Joe.
It's the big one here in turn number 3. Still wrecking here as the whole field got took out.
Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy.
And the common theme is either be at the front or be at the back, and I think cars in the front and the back ended up getting collected in this one. Let's get you this replay.
Looks like the start to the 11 car is Steve Grant and the 21 of Randy Waugh. I think the 21 just gives him a little bit of a shot in the weird spot in the bumper and sends him sideways.
No, it's
into
the 11
113
and
of Caleb Lingle.
Okay, yep. Helicopter cam never fails us here.
Maverick and Wiley King just barely made through with that. 78 of Ryan Johnson also, same thing. But man, look how many cars are flipping in this.
740 goes flying through the air.
9 Duke Sorensen got stuck on his roof there. See at least 3 blown motors out of that group of people that rolled away from that Joe, but there's a lot of guys that just got towed to pit road.
Hey, that is single-handedly the funniest and worst thing I've read all day. Look at this.
Also, seeing in chat mentions of the chat disappearing. I'm having the same issue, so I think that's on the YouTube end.
Yeah, YouTube's being really wonky right now. So apologies for that. Unfortunately, we don't have control over that, because if we did, it would be perfect. But another look at the wreck here. We like YouTube, though, because it logs our videos for us. Couple of big contenders, though, taken out here, right? Caleb Lingle, you see the 029 of kilojoules. Matthew Stern in the 4, the 07 Steve Rubino was up front. Dan Rubino in the 44 was involved in this one as well, so both Rubinos involved.
The guys in that tertiary pack, that third grouping, kind of cashed out pretty good on this, because when they came up to the wreck, everything was already done, just trying to weave through it. Right now, they're up front. Phil Cass, Rod Weston, Randy Waugh. Randy Waugh was in the incident, but Cass and Weston both were in the way back there and kind of just creeped on through it after it happened. A lot of guys came on pit road.
On board with KJ.
Just blows the entire race wide open, though, Joe. In terms of now, we don't really know who's going to have speed just on grounds of damage. It's going to factor in more than anything.
It's never good when you see cars phasing through each other.
Never good indeed.
Better change that to 7-4 state. You crack me up, buddy. We'll talk with Michael after the race, maybe. So as Ricky said, a lot of the field came down the pit lane, elected to, take advantage of this pit stop here, or this opportunity, this caution, to come down the pit lane. We'll be going back green here. Probably, lap 42, I would say. Doesn't change too much. Probably still looking at one more stop to make it to the end. Ricky, I don't know what this does for us. This caution just took out a lot of good race cars.
It did.
Mark asks in chat, does JTN have a community Discord, or is that AutoSim? So right now, we do not have a community Discord for JTN, but we do have the one for AutoSim. So if you want to stay up to date on all things AutoSim, you head on over to the AutoSim community Discord. As of right now, we at JTN don't have a Discord. Not a community one, at least. We have our workflow stuff, right, Ricky? But that's for us.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to see that anyways. It's just a lot of, code and, me yelling at people. I don't think anyone wants to see that. I gotta keep my...
Toad.
Yeah, I gotta keep my public image at least a little bit okay. You see Bino there in chat with the patented grr after being involved in an incident.
I too feel grr after an incident.
We lost a lot of cars in that wreck. That will definitely shake up the finish to this one, as Herman Reese going to be leading us back to green. Jeff Fugate there in second. You know, you're not supposed to be in the stands with 30 laps to go. I think that's
Not
the
supposed
problem.
to, but sometimes that's the way the old cookie crumbles.
I appreciate him for streaming us here at Daytona. I know the internet can be a little difficult when you're up in the grandstands at any racetrack, so we appreciate you, Bino. No, Mark totally joined the AutoSim Discord. I was just trying to let you know we don't have a public JTN one at this time. We're talking about making one though. Don't be sorry about asking a question. Never be sorry about asking a question. Herman Reese leading us back to green again. Jeff Fugate, Maverick, Keith McLean, Wiley King, your top 5. Then it's Ryan Johnson in the 78. Josh Boyer, BP, Manny D. And then the 124 of Rick Castle.
Joe, I'm going to be honest with you. You said the 95. I thought you were going to say Wiley Coyote. That's all I got. We are hitting the 10 o'clock hour. That is when my brain turns to pasta.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately when we're streaming a lot, too, isn't it?
Yep.
Getting ready to go back green. Dodge Charger safety car got a couple pull down the pit lane. Herman Reese with control into the restart zone. We will go. Fans on their feet. Green flag. We're back underway.
Single file through the field here. A little further back, I see underneath the 710 of Manny D. Rick Castle on the 1.4 jump to the inside. 31, Jeff Stackas giving him a big push.
Maverick there on the bottom in the 23. Ryan Johnson trying to close up on the back bumper. A couple Chevrolets there. Going to be trying to work together as the top 8 have kind of started to separate themselves from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, well, now it's going to spread out a lot because we got a lot of cars with crash damage holding up guys with no crash damage, and then we got a bunch of guys out of the race with crash damage, so the pack's going to be a little smaller. We only have 24 cars on the lead lap right now, to give you an idea here, but it will kind of start to thin out a little bit. But that also does kind of help with trying to set up a line in this front grouping because there's not a lot of cars out there in this front pack. As you can see, it's kind of split up into 2 groups right now. Maverick right now on the inside trying to make things work down there underneath the 95 of Wiley King. Flip back to the 41 of Josh Boyer, trying to get something to happen there. Trying to see if he can get anyone else to jump out of line with him to start pushing them along.
I think we're at that point in the race, too, where a lot of these guys up front, they're kind of willing to just run it out until this final pit stop. And those pit stops always separate they separate the men from the boys, is what we like to say.
The boys to men.
Oh, his caution's out. What?
Oh, we got a big crash right in the front straightaway here. Steve Grant and the 19 of Rod Weston right in front of the pace car.
Hopefully Jeff Bodine's okay. Oh my goodness. Look at this one, folks.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
Bumper grab there to the back of the 94 into the 112, and Steve Grant is spinning, and still spinning, and still spinning, and still spinning into the wall. Freight train. Rod Weston collects him. That had some Brad Keselowski, Austin Dillon written on it.
Well, Joe, back under caution here from Daytona. 45 of 70 laps complete in tonight's event. Right now, looks like about 26 laps to go in tonight's event. Just a hair over what we need to get across the line.
We're almost to the end of this one. Beautiful night skies here at Daytona, too. Do you know what an Arctic monkey is?
I do not.
It's a band. Dummy.
Goof.
I want to fill a Cass update. There he is. That 48 car. Racer X. Did you ever watch the Speed Racer cartoons?
I seen little bits and pieces of it.
Ah.
It is a little bit psychotic.
Hey, that's the only anime I'd watch. Is Speed Racer.
Like hilariously psychotic.
This is that weird part of a broadcast where we give the folks at home a lot of dead air, isn't it, Ricky?
Because we're just marinating in thought. We're just letting the noises of the racetrack do the thing where they make the noises.
Kind of getting our last little bit of notes together. What are you taking note of here for the end of this race?
I am taking note of what lap we go green on here, because that's really going to be important relative to if these guys can make it to the end or not. 47 out of 70 right now. That's about 24 laps to go. Like just on the pace car, assuming that they go out this time, it'd be about 22 laps to go. Like you said, Joe, it's like 18 laps to a tank, so you really are not going to be able to make it.
Hey, we've been told not to sing, so that usually overrules any song requests in chat.
We've been muzzled.
Bristol doesn't like it when I sing either. That should be enough of a. I think it's because I start talking too much.
Arctic Monkeys, I think, right?
I'm not sure. Honestly, let me look up their discography.
Yeah, no, discography.
Words are hard.
Their discography.
Arctic Monkeys. Let's see. 505. Do I want to know? I want to be yours.
405. 805, 105.
No, but they have oh man. Hold on. They're also known as death ramps. Yeah, that's kind of cool. This isn't what I'm
Are there
thinking
monkeys
it
in the
was.
Arctic? I think they're advertising some false statements. I could be a little bit wrong, but you know.
Magoo tuning in, welcome. Bomb Squad Racing going to be live on Thursday. Love the cross pollination here. Dan letting us know that Steve is going to be good to go here to the finish of this one. That makes me a little worried. I feel like we might be a little bit outside that fuel window, but Steve Rubino in that numero 07 car. Going to be looking to stretch it out and make it to the end. These drivers that stayed out don't think they're going to be able to make it. They're going to have to do some heavy fuel save. Might need a caution or two. As Herman Reese leads the procession here at Daytona as we get ready to go back green. I'm ready, man. I'm ready for this. Let's do it.
I am ready. This is going to be a fun old time.
Had some great viewership tonight as well, so cannot, again, thank you folks enough for tuning in. We're going to seal the deal on this one. Remember, be a friend, tell a friend about our streams here on JTN, and make sure you click that like button if you haven't already. Dodge Charger pace car comes down the pit lane, gives way to Herman Reese, who will lead us back to green. 22 laps to go here from Daytona. Green flag, we're back underway.
Single file here. Herman Reese going to be leading them around. Riding that high line around this place. Nobody daring to move around just yet. Trying to wait to get up to speed here.
And that's something we've talked about it so many times here at these Daytona races. When we run Cup Physics, when we run these older tracks, it does take these drivers a little bit to get up to speed. Haven't had to talk about it too much tonight, though, because we've been single file for most of it. Steve Rubino pulling out a line, though. He says, I don't want to go single file. I want to work my way to the front in that 07, getting a push from Ron Simpson in the 25.
Oh, we're getting close to go time here. Some of these guys, we don't know how close they're going to be cutting it on fuel, but we know that they need to get going here, and Steve Rubino is deciding, I've had enough and I want to race.
Keith McLean also drops to the bottom in the 28, going to try to help his Ford brethren there with Rubino in the 07, and then again, that is a Chevrolet there with the 25 of Simpson Fence Company Chevrolet. I believe that paint scheme won here at least once with Tony Stewart behind the wheel. Back in the day with the certain BK logo on the hood. Wiley King is through into third in the 95. Again, Team Speedland has not had the night they were looking for. Steve Grant caught up in that most recent incident. So again, the inside lane just not getting formed up. Maverick now looking for fourth on the outside. That's the John Deere 23 car.
The old John Deere 23 Maverick starting to make his way up into the picture here. Joe, it is Hobo, but right now it's looking like Maverick Night in America because Maverick in that fourth spot.
No.
He's looking pretty good out here. All the cars are wrecked. His car still looks mean and green and clean, and he's riding around in this fourth spot on that high line.
That was about the worst thing you've done all night, Ricky. Not gonna lie.
I'm pretty proud of that.
We made that joke last week. Come up with something original.
And
Caution's
it looks like
out.
we're under caution here again.
We are so good at spotting wrecks
Jason
that it's
San
Chase.
Diego, Randy Smith. This is way back here.
And that has regular season championship implications. Herman Reese has led the most laps in this race, so has gotten those bonus points. Again, Jason San Diego, we talked with him last week after the race, looking to try to fight for that regular season title. You see the 710 into the 10, 22 caught up in it. And again, that strategy of staying towards the back, it doesn't always work out for you.
Look at the incident here, Joe. It seems like the 710 of Mandy D just got into the 10 in a weird spot, trying to push him, bumper grabbed him, sent him up into San Diego, who got the outside wall hard there and went for a bit of a roll. No, a bit of a two-wheel teeter-totter, I guess.
Eater-totter.
Teeter-totter. Teeter-totters, but don't fall down. Now this actually does make the strategy a little more interesting because you can make it on fuel if you come down now.
Yes.
So I think these guys are going to come down, get their fuel, do their piece here, and in doing that, we're going to see quite an aggressive battle for the win here when we get back on green. Everyone coming down on pit road to get that old Sunoco fuel. I should say everyone amended that a little bit. A few people staying out, but these are all lap cars, I think. Yeah, these are all lap cars, excuse me.
Now we're good to go. Herman Reese going to win the race off.
Very quick pit stop for Herman Reese. He just wanted to pray, splashing there, topping off of 28. Gets really squirrely there back there. Keith McLean almost spun it, got into the side of Ryan Johnson coming off pit road, but he gets that second position. Ryan Johnson, though, the 78, made a big leap in position here over some of these guys. Amanda just took a splash of fuel there, too. And that's got him up in this top three shuffle.
Mm-mm-mm. So working our fifth caution of the night, folks, would like to remind you that you can head on over to CircleBDiecast.com and use code JTN at checkout on your order of $30 or more and receive $5 off on your shipping. So save some money, help support us here on JTN, and again, use that code. It's so easy. Those three letters, JTN at checkout, CircleBDiecast.com. If you can also, or maybe looking for a new t-shirt, hoodie, hat, not a hat, we don't have hats yet, or a t-shirt or a hoodie, maybe some stickers, head on over to the JTN merch store. You can get our logo on some stuff and a bunch of other great merch options as well. Again, available all over the JTN merch store. We got it linked down in the video description below. Again, kind of talking with YouTube stuff not working tonight. Can't do the integrations into chat and underneath the stream to give you those direct links to the certain merch that we're plugging, like our JTN race car merch, which you see now on your screen. Again, the best way to help support us here on JTN is to make sure you're liking the videos, you're subscribed, but if you can go that extra mile and you want to go that extra mile because you appreciate what we do, you can head on over to the JTN merch store, get yourself some JTN merch, and we appreciate it so much when you do. Everyone loves their JTN merch, you know? The only thing I've heard was a couple, like a hoodie, getting a little bit smaller after going through the wash, so keep that in mind. Maybe buy a size up if you're a little close to being in between sizes. But nonetheless, some great options there, good printing quality and the like. So again, check out the JTN merch store. We got it linked again down in the video description below. RJ saying it's going to get crazy here at the end. I would concur. Also kind of picking the guys that are 3rd or 4th and 6th. Not the 5th place driver, though. These final laps are going to be insane, RJ. I mean, this is going to be crazy. Ann and Barbara, and I think Bino also involved in this. Rubino, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. Heard that from the grandstands as well. Nevertheless, Herman Reese still leads the way. Gonna have the 1959 taking a wave around here. Got 24 folks tuning in. Make sure, we only got 13 likes, so make sure if you're just tuning in now, we'd appreciate it so much if you could hit that like button for us. It's completely free to do. It helps support us here on JTN, helps us get our streams out to more people. Word of mouth advertising is how we do a lot of our advertising. So if you like the content, if you feel so inclined or kind to help support us here on JTN, we would appreciate it so much if you hit that like button, subscribed if you're new, and also spread the word. Let your friends, family, heck, let your dog know about us here on JTN. Been a great viewership night, though. We've stayed above 20 viewers for most of the night, which is awesome. Cannot thank you folks enough for tuning in. We got a bunch of great things coming here down the pipeline for JTN. We've talked about Auto Sim 2 a couple times here tonight. That's going to be a lot of fun, and really looking forward to that coming out here in the winter, being able to be part of that launch and the development of that game to get you guys an even better text-based simulated racing game, which is a mouthful that we always like to tag everything we do here at JTN with. But again, cannot thank all of our sponsors enough. Again, a big shout out goes to our second place driver right now, Keith McLean, for bringing us out for these next 2 Hobo Racing events. Cannot thank Keith enough for his support of us here on JTN. You can get a Mac Daddy t-shirt on the JTN merch store as well. Next track, over under 5 cars, Ricky. I know that's usually something we don't like to play.
I don't know, Joe, because there's not a lot of cars left that are going to be up in this front pack. I mean,
Base car lights are out. We're going to go green next time at the line. With, I believe, 14 laps to go? Yes, 14 laps to go when we hit the line.
So to give it back again, Herman Reese going to be starting in first. Second is Keith McLean. Third is Ryan Johnson. Fourth spot's going to be Wiley King in the 95 car. Jeff Stakanis in the 31 starts fifth. Sixth is going to go to Fugate. Seventh is the 112 car of Eddie Rayleigh. In the 8th spot, the 07 car, Steve Rubino. Keep an eye out on Rubino. He was really trying to make that second line work really quickly on that last restart. We'll see if he does it again here. 9th spot goes to the 23 car, Maverick, and rounding out the top 10 here is going to be the 41 of Josh Boyer.
Remember, it's going to take us at least till the back straightaway to be up to speed where we're going to see these drivers able to make some moves unless someone missed a shift, mistimes a shift, or makes a mistake here on the restart. So be watching for that. Yes, we're restarting at the line, but really the moves are going to start happening off of turn number 2, or at least a smart driver would make those moves off of 2, but I've been proven wrong numerous times here over the 2 years now that we've been covering Hobo Racing. Herman Reese, though, like you said, with control as the field makes their way off of turn number 4. The 73 has been dominant tonight, looking for a 4th win on the year, looking for the regular season points championship, in a great position to do so as the Dodge Charger safety car comes down the pit lane, gives way to Herman Reese in the 73. Into the restart zone we will go. Green flag, we're back underway. See the field still single file, top 5 breaking away from the 9 of Fugate. That 9 car has sustained some pretty heavy damage tonight, and that's really going to start splintering the front of the field, Ricky.
He's going to splinter the front of the field indeed, but Herman Reese really starting to get a leg up on Keith McLean here. Look how much he's gapped him here. That's probably not great for Herman Reese because McLean's going to get a big draft down the back straightaway off of him.
And speaking
of
of
the 78 of Ryan Johnson. While this is all happening, though, Johnson goes down low. He catches the 31 of Jeff Stekenis, and here comes the 28 down low as well.
And so I just made a comment about the 9 not having any horsepower left after a wreck. Well, there he is, back up inside the top 5, all over the back bumper of the 31 of Stekenis. Jeff and Jeff tandem there, up into 4th and 5th positions as those 2 Chargers now go to the outside. And here comes Steve Rubino.
Trying to make a big charge on the outside here. See what I did there? It's the 28 comes up high right with the 73. I think Herman Reese's only bet here, Joe, is just defend both lines like no tomorrow here. Just kind of keep going with whatever's got the momentum. Whichever line has more cars, just keep going with it. Obviously, spotter in his ear is not going to be able to give him the information on what line is coming. He's going to have to kind of call that himself through that big rear view mirror. And for the moment, it looks like that low line not really formed up for the second. So Herman Reese gets a lap here to breathe as you see the 28 of Keith McLean all over his back bumper.
Old school style restrictor plate racing here tonight with the HOBO Racing Cup Series. 12 laps to go, that time at the line, as Herman Reese continues to lead. Keith McLean there in second. Jeff Stekenis, Jeff Fugate, and Ryan Johnson, your top 5. 78 is Ryan Johnson. 07 is Steve Rubino. They're both trying to make their way on the bottom. Still not a lot of help behind. Rubino thinking about going to the outside in front of the 95. Wiley King kind of gets up high. Now the 07 going to be left out to dry. No, just wait. Here comes Ryan Johnson back to the bottom. But right now those 2 on the bottom, they are not making any headway, and they are losing time to the leaders. Now the 07 to the outside, and the 78 as well.
07 and the 78 to the outside
baby.
here. So 78 moving around. 07 jumps down low in front of the 23 there in Maverick. 78 doesn't move, but the 23 of Maverick kind of gets strung out by himself as everyone's starting to filter out to this top line here. 11 laps to go from Daytona.
About the craziest I've ever seen. The 07 drive here on a super speedway. Steve Rubino going for it here. He sits in 6th. Maverick now looking to the inside of that 07 as the top 5 have broken away. Coming this time through turns 3 and 4. No run coming from behind the 73. So Herman Reese still able to stay out in front of that bubble of air off of turn number 4. Remember the 31 and 9. We know those 2 will work together. You see Maverick to the inside of Steve Rubino. This time at the line, it'll be 10 to go. And of course, that means it's time for our TWB 10 to go. And on behalf of TWB, I'd like to turn your attention to GardenLightsDirect.com, because from porches to patios to more, for all of your outdoor lighting needs, and I mean all of them, you want to head on over to GardenLightsDirect.com. Again, that's GardenLightsDirect.com, GardenLightsDirect.com, GardenLightsDirect.com here on your TWB 10 to go.
Herman Reese still leading them here. It's Keith McLean, Jeff Stekenis, Fugate, 1, 2, 3, 4, all riding on that top line. But you see Ryan Johnson on the bottom line, starting to get something formed up down low here. That high line starting to fractal up just a little bit, and I'm starting to see these numbers form on the low line. I think Ryan Johnson is coming here, Joe, as he's getting a little bit of a draft off the 9 of Fugate. He's got to get to the inside of him, coming up to turn 1 here. But here comes the 07 of Steve Rubino getting a big push. He's going to have to check up when he gets up to the 9 car here. You see, though, right behind the 07, it really splinters up for this high line, whereas the low line's got a lot of cars down there. They just haven't really tucked up together.
And Maverick going to fill that hole there behind the 07. Ryan Johnson wanted to get up there. Really squeezes the 23 towards the outside wall. Still not a lot of help behind the 78 as Steve Rubino's starting to think to go to the bottom in that 07.
Steve Rubino's been making some pretty aggressive moves here all night. We'll see if he does this again. If he sees Ryan Johnson start moving, you see Wiley Kane kind of jumping back in line. I think some of these guys on this lone line are kind of jumping in line to see if they can catch some wind off these guys just to kind of generate a draft, keep that momentum up and keep everyone consistent. Here comes the 07 with the 23, both in front of the 78. They're both going to dive to the inside on the 9. And side by side with the 31 here is Steve Rubino leading that low line, and he gets on to try. 9 car gets thrown down to the inside. Fuga into the inside wall. Hard hit.
We stay green, though. 9 car out of the picture. Single spin, self-spin. Not really a self-spin, but a single spinner down the back straightaway after contact with the 23 and the 78. We'll get a replay of it if we can, but for now, we keep our eyes on the battle for the top 5, as the top 3, call it 4, are all single file and feeling nice and comfy in the seat they're sitting in.
Everyone just absolutely scrambled there when they saw the car of the 9 of Fugate there go into the inside wall. I think everyone thought that was going to be a yellow. Didn't end up being a yellow here. Kind of mixed things up a little bit, but now everyone's starting to filter back up this high line, riding around here. I think they're starting to try to figure out where they can strike, but you can see, that 95 of Wiley King gets into the outside wall.
Big check up behind, still contact. We stay straight, we stay green.
Bob Gibson lost a ton of speed there. Everyone kind of splintering up. It really is this top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 cars here. So they're going on by the 22 car. Jason San Diego way off the pace here. San Diego is.
That's a heartbreaker for the 22 team. Came into the night leading the points. Going to go home second in the regular season points battle. Herman Reese still out in front. Keith McLean sits second. Jeff Stickennis, Steve Rubino, Maverick, and Ryan Johnson. And Ron Simpson, your top 7 here from Daytona.
Now the back straightaway going to be coming up on the 19 of Rod West of 59. Duke Sorensen. Both these cars very off pace right now, running damaged. Going to hold that bottom. Everyone going to kind of chug along on that outside line is where these guys are running at the moment. So it should be no issue with getting on by him here. Come around off turn 4. They're going to come down here, cross the line to take the 5 to go here. Flagman's got 5 fingers up in the air. Herman Reese still leading here, trying to defend from Keith McLean.
Maverick, big move to the inside of Steve Rubino. A lot of help. A lot of those cars that were catching these leaders now have ducked to the bottom. Maverick to the inside of the 07. 23 and 07 battling for 4th. See if Stickennis or McLean decide to drop down. See if they can pull the 23 and 25 with them. But for now, everyone's staying committed to the outside of our top 4.
Here comes the 07 car of Steve Rubino. Look how much momentum he's got, Joe. He's got his nose to the inside of the 28 of Keith McLean. Steve is there. He is fighting for this lead as he's getting his nose to the inside of that 28 car. He's going to try to size up Herman Reese here if he can get a push from that 23 of Maverick.
Steve Rubino needs a push. 4 to go that time at the line to the inside of Keith McLean for the second spot. Starting to lose some of that momentum. That's going to allow Herman Reese the opportunity, at least, to drop to the bottom. Still, the inside has more cars. Outside, a little more momentum. Herman Reese still your leader as the battle for second rages on behind him.
Out for seconds continuing here, where you see how many guys are tucked up here on that bottom line. It's only 3 cars up top, but they're coming up on a lap car quick here. The 10 car of Randy Smith. They're going to have to make sure they navigate this car effectively. Steve Rubino, not being deterred by that, is still going to try to make this low line work side by side with the 28 here coming off turn 4.
See where the 10 goes. He's going to stay on track. Steve Rubino on the bottom has to come up. That kind of allows him to get some draft off the 28 through the tri-oval as now Keith McLean thinks about going to the bottom. Field makes their way around the 10. 3 laps to go here from Daytona through turns 1 and 2. Battle is for 3rd at the moment. Battle could be for the lead if the 28 can make a move. Down the back straightaway we go. Bottom line, losing momentum. You see Troy Donahue there in the 81, gaining some ground. Another close points battle that we have failed to mention to this point. 32 points separating the 07 and 25. Steve Rubino with a win needs to stay in the top 20 in points. 2 to go this time of the line.
Herman Reese still leading 2 laps to go here at Daytona. What's going to happen? Anyone's guess. Coming up a lot of lap cars here at the
we got a
moment.
crash.
23 goes around. Big flip through the air.
23 a Maverick, 07 a Steve Rubino around here on the exit of the Tri-Oval. We stay green for now, but the
Caution's out,
urgency...
Joe. This is going to be the race of the win right here.
The urgency has been ticked up. Keith McLean all over the back bumper of Herman Reese down the back straightaway, giving him a big shove. They're coming up on the 9 of Jeff Fugate. Remember, Fugate involved in that incident. 28 to the outside of the 73. See if he gets a push from the 31 through 3 and 4. Herman Reese ducks to the bottom, hoping to get a shove. Breaks the draft. Here comes Keith McLean. Going to look to the bottom off of turn number 4.
Reese gets loose. Keith McLean's going to be right there, Joe. They're coming side by side to the line, getting a push from the 31, and here comes Keith McLean. Beats him to the line.
Beats him to the line, beats him to the yellow flag, the white flag also in hand. It might as well be the checkered flag as Keith McLean will go home your winner tonight from Daytona after a spectacular crash at the exit of the Tri-Oval. Let's first get you a replay of that incident. And heartbreak for Steve Rubino and Maverick, both looking for those top 5 runs. We talked about it, Rubino needing a good run tonight to stay in front of the 81 in points. It might be a little bit closer than what we were expecting. Here's the replay.
Looks like the 07 just gets up the track a little bit, makes contact with the 23, sends them both spinning.
And this battle to the finish, folks, I mean, spectacular. Doesn't even describe it. Between Herman Reese and Keith McLean, Keith able to pull off the big...
They're waiting on the pace car up here, Joe. They're in the trial. Keith about ready to take this checkered flag. He's just waiting for that Dodge Charger pace car to come rolling on by here.
And as you mentioned it, across the line he will go. Keith McLean officially becomes the winner tonight from Daytona.
No, I didn't know zebras were lucky.
We'll have to ask him about that. I wonder how many zebra cakes he's going to eat tonight. How many would you be eating?
I don't know. It's been a very long time since I had zebra cake. Probably wouldn't be washing it down with Busch Light, though. That sounds like a vile combination there.
It's Busch Ice for Keith.
What is that? Busch Ice, sorry.
Well, he's got Busch Light on the back, but usually it's the Busch Ice car.
What a finish, though. Keith McLean taking the win here at Daytona.
So again, folks, stick around. We're going to talk with our top 3 finishers. Those, of course, being Keith McLean in the 28, Herman Reese in the 73, and I believe the 31 of Jeff Stekenis. Getting that correct?
Yes.
Okay. But a thriller of a finish here tonight. Keith McLean burns it down to the Zebra Cakes Ford Mustang. That was the worst burnouts I've ever seen. That's those super speedway gearings, but nonetheless, Keith's given us a good couple here in the past. Results going to be coming on your screens momentarily. Again, folks, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN tonight. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Show these drivers some love in chat as well as commenting if you're watching the replay of this event. And not, again, thank you enough for being active in chat tonight. Talking with us throughout the race, showing us how excited you were coming to the finish, because that definitely makes it a lot easier for us coming to the finish to have some fun as well. So, again, folks, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN. Let's see. Okay, I'm playing around with some stuff, trying to figure it out, you know? As one does. And I screwed it up. That's okay. Nevertheless, again, results coming on your screens momentarily, folks. But let's go ahead and start by bringing in our race winner. He's the driver of the number 28, Little Debbie Zebra Cakes Ford. Mr. Keith McLean. Keith, you got a copy?
How about that, Joe? Mac Daddy with the W.
At a super speedway, nonetheless.
Right?
We saw you up front all night long. I want to take you back, though. Earlier in the race, I forget the lap. It was within the first 20, though. You and KJ getting hooked up, get a really strong run coming off the corner, able to make a pass for the lead. Did that kind of give you some confidence in your ability, in the car's ability? We know we should never question your ability behind the wheel, but the car's ability to make those big moves coming on off the corner?
Joe, I got that run, and I took it, and I got down into turn one. My car, the first 3 or 4 laps, was so loose in turn one, I thought it was going to wreck about 3 or 4 laps. And then it was good. Man, the car was great. I'd run high for a little bit, and then after we run 3 or 4 laps, I could run top, bottom, or anywhere. It was fast. We, the 4 horsemen got hooked up there, me and Herman and Jeff Stacanis and Jeff Fugate, and we were just rolling around the top there toward the end, and then Fugate got bumped out of there, but we had them going.
Well, had them going, and let's talk about the end, because obviously the caution comes out. That kind of brings up the urgency a little bit. But we saw a masterful pass by you. You looked to the outside going into turn 3, got back in line behind the 73, and then a big move to the bottom. Is that how you planned it out, or was it kind of just you're in the moment, you're kind of feeling it out, and it ended up working out for a victory?
Well, when we went green, we decided we were just going to ride, and if they come up on us, we'd try to hold them off and try to keep us together, and then we'd settle it right there at the end, and then we get the yellow. So we're coming up on Fugate, which is one of our teammates. So Herman goes down there to draft him, so I kind of go down there a little bit and then sweep up, try to get on his outside corner, because I know that, the TR track, there's a grip up there, and it was like I don't know if he slipped just a hair or something, but when he did, I was able to just cut down and drive up under him. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this is going to be close. But that was awesome.
It was an awesome finish, Keith. Again, congratulations on the win. I know you got a lot of celebrating to go do, so we don't want to hold you for too long. Before we let you go, though, floor is yours, buddy. You know what to do.
Thank Steve Rubino for running this show. He does a great job. I'd like everybody to say a prayer. Just a prayer for the Rubino family. They've had lots of health issues over the last few years, and every little bit helps. I'd like to thank Pam, of course, for putting up with me again, and thank my teammates for helping me and working with me all night. I got great teammates, and y'all did a great job. Thank y'all, and see you next week or Thursday.
Yeah, well, we'll see you Thursday, but we'll see you next week, too. How's that sound?
Sounds great, man. Thank y'all.
Keith, thank you, again, not only for taking the time to talk with us, but for bringing us out for these next 2 races. And again, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
Keith McLean, driver of the 28, your winner here tonight from Daytona. Well, let's go to the other side of that spectacular finish. He's the driver of the number 73, Herman Reese. Lead the most laps, Herman. I think you're coming home with the regular season points championship. Does it feel more like a consolation prize at this point, though?
I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
Right now, hang on. There's some controversy. We just sent somebody down. Even though he's a teammate, I protested the motor, and
Okay.
they're gonna pull it apart and see how.
Okay.
I think he had a sneaky Pete at the end of the race there. I'm not going to be too sure. No draft drive by me there.
I know.
No, what a great finish. I mean, I was the four horsemen were on it tonight, and started with the pole, leading the most laps, and did what I had to do. And unfortunately, Jason had some bad luck, and I think this is the third or fourth straight year I've won the regular season, only to lose in the finals. But how about Keith McLean up at the Mac Daddy tonight? He fast all night again. And I don't think a lot of guys realize that we don't all run the same setups. It looks like it, but the two Jeffs were up there, Steak and Eggs and Fugatti. We all ran together. When we were all lined up at the end, I'm like, this is over. There's not enough fast cars that are going to beat us if we stay together. And Jeff had some bad luck, but yeah, I think it was a great race at the end. I'm a little disappointed. I tried to pull a little bit of a move on Keith there when I was using Jeff Fugate's draft at the end, and he trumped me by cutting down there. I was like, well, if I tried to block him, it was going to be a wreck. And last thing you want to do is wreck your teammate. You know, maybe if it's to the checkers, we'd have done it, but I think it was fun. I had a good race. Usually I run to the back there in these races, and tonight I decided to stay up front.
Well, and you stayed up. You were up there all night. You lead 35 laps of the 70, so you lead half the dang race. But when you see a caution come out, coming off of turn number 2, I think is when it probably got thrown, or through the center of 1 and 2. But really early in that lap, right? Caution gets thrown. And were you more so planning? Obviously, everyone's planning to run the whole 70, but how does that kind of affect you behind the wheel, between the ears? Knowing that all of a sudden the thing you thought was going to happen the next lap is all of a sudden happening down the back straightaway.
Well, I was already, as soon as I heard it, somebody piped up and said, I think they're wrecking. And I looked in the mirror, I saw where Keith was, and I looked ahead and I saw Jeff, and I immediately made a beeline because I knew I was because that's not where you want to be. You're the sitting duck at that point, because teammates you're all friends and everything. But when that last caution comes out, the fangs, it's like great white sharks chewing on something. So I had to go into full defense mode. And I honestly thought going into 3, I got it. And when he hooked under me, I was like, oh my God. And fortunately for him, unfortunately for me, our other teammate was behind him. And to be honest, if he'd have gone, it could have gone either way. I mean, it was a great finish for Hobo, and it was a good run. I wish we'd had some green flag stops, but all in all, it was a fun race. A lot of really up front, the guys were very respectful to everybody. It wasn't a lot of big bumping. I guess in the back they had some trouble, and it was fairly clean, except for the one big one there, in which I was so fortunate that took Caleb out and Steve Verbino. That was wild.
Well, Herman, it was a fantastic race for you. Again, second place run. You don't sound as dejected as I thought. So again, congratulations on the podium, the regular season title. But before we let you go, buddy, you know what to do. The floor is yours.
10-4, thanks. You couldn't hear me chewing Keith out pretty hard after that move. But anyway, thanks to HOBO Racing. Make it fun every Tuesday night over here. These guys, we have a blast. I tell you, every time we're in here. And the Rubino brothers, Steve and Dan, been putting this show on for quite a while, and you guys were broadcasting. And the Mac Daddy tonight, he had to win. He paid for it. He sponsored this event. So I told him after the race, I said, I guess I'm going to have to pay for the next event so I can win these guys. But I appreciate everything everybody does. It was a fun race, and I hope everybody had fun watching. And next week, we're going to see you again on Tuesday night, and hopefully you're talking to me again.
One position better though, right?
10-4. Yeah, I'll go in. I just love to see my name at the top on the front page there when Steve puts up the chase.
Herman, again, congratulations on the second place run in the regular season title. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you. And I want to say one more shout out to my teammate, the Four Horsemen tonight. We were rocking it. See you guys.
Herman Reese, driver of the number 73, your second place finisher here tonight. Let's go ahead and finally bring in our third place finisher. He's the driver of the number 31, Jeff Stakanis. Jeff, third place run, started third, finished third, but the night was a lot more up and down than the little numbers next to your name show on the stat sheet. Take us through it.
I just wasn't really too aggressive tonight.
Mhm.
Just kind of lagged along and kind of followed the crowd and wondered when that big one was gonna be.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just wait until the end, basically trying to see where my teammates were gonna be, and it ended up sort of kind of like we wanted. We had all four of us there running, but the 9 got taken out. But it is what it is.
When you see that, when you kind of lose that teammate, and the way I've always looked at it is you two Jeffs, you're a little tighter together, right? Like I don't know if that's fair or unfair. You can correct me, but
Yep, we are normally right on each other's back bumper.
so how much did that kind of hurt you though? They were coming to the end.
Not too bad. I having 4 cars in the draft is so much better, because even if you get a long line of cars underneath you or on top, those 4 cars are still going to add up to way better than somebody who's not drafting right or lagging back a car length. So yeah, I kind of worried about that, but then I had the 25 get right behind me, so he's pretty good at the super speedways also, and he's stuck there. He did think though that I was gonna try something at the end there, but I was going to stick with my teammates.
Fair enough. And obviously there were a couple big whammies of wrecks tonight. When you see those happen, a bunch of good cars getting taken out too, does that how do you think that affected the end of this race?
Quite a bit, because some of those cars were definitely good racy cars in the beginning of the race. So, you got KJ and stuff like that normally runs really well, but had of a moderate damage, so it's not so bad. But yeah, it definitely hurt a lot of good cars.
Well, hurt a lot of good cars, but did not hurt this 31, Jeff. Congratulations congratulations on the third place run. But before we let you go, floor is yours. I think it's been a while, so let me refresh your memory. Thank all those friends, family, and sponsors that get you to the track.
All them. Yep, them. My teammates.
Yep, there we go.
Don't forget them guys. HOBO Racing, these guys are a bunch of great great guys to race with, and Dan and Steve, they do a commendable job, and I thank them.
Commendable
job.
Oof.
Now the other night, however, we were running on Sunday, and Dan, he kind of oopsied, and
I heard.
he wrecked out, and he clicked a button, and that was it. And that was the end of everybody's night, not just his. So, but things happen. It is what it is. But, yep. Had fun. We had fun.
Jeff, it's always fun to talk with you after these. Once again, congratulations on the third place run. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Jeff Stakanis, driver of the number 31, your third place finisher here tonight from Daytona. Well, Ricky, that's going to kind of wrap up our coverage here. Of course, we're going to be racing live next week to open up the chase, the playoffs, whatever vernacular you want to use, here with HOBO Racing from Darlington. What are you looking forward to next week?
Man, it's going to be I'm just looking forward to the attrition. Darlington's always a brutal track and always puts on a great show. I love running Darlington, so we're going to have some fun next week.
Going to have a lot of fun next week, folks. And remember, that's why you want to make sure you're subscribed. You click that little bell next to the subscribe button. You'll be notified anytime we go live. Next time we're live, too, is going to be Thursday night, Bomb Squad Racing Cup Series action from Darlington. So a good little preview for the following week. Both leagues using the same track. It's going to be a lot of fun. 2 straight races from Darlington for Ricky and I. We're having a ball. We're having an absolute ball. Remember to hit that like and subscribe button. You can follow us at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, all those different social media platforms. That does so much to help support us. And it's a great way, again, to stay up to date with everything we do. With all that being said, though, folks, for all of us here at JTN, for our producer, Bristol, for Ricky Collette, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're going to be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're going to be... Oh!
Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy wins the race.